Hi guys, welcome back to Lunatic Astrology. I'm your astrologer, Lori Lothian, talking today about September 6th trine between Venus and Jupiter, lucky in love, lucky in money, just a generous, beautiful transit. And I want you to know as well that this transit is extra succulent because of Venus being in her home sign of Libra, in her powerful throne of dignity, and she's sitting against a gorgeous star, a star of luck and opportunity as well, called Spica. This makes this an extraordinary, super powered version of this transit. Now, this trine transit happens, not that uncommonly. For instance, going back in time, let me try to remember. I had a note somewhere. What were the last ones? Let me grab my little cheat sheet that I wrote down. Okay, June 3rd, 2021. Okay, there was a trine from Venus, but not from Libra, okay? From Cancer. So she's way more powerful in Libra. September 6th, this is the one coming, and another one in August 18th, 2022. Again, these are always going to be auspicious, but especially so when Venus is traveling through her home sign of Libra. And this is something attainable, a Libran trine to the Aquarian realm, because Jupiter is in his once every 12-year transit through Aquarius. So there's a kind of special 12-year vibe to this as well, with the kind of signature of Aquarian Libran energy running through it. We're going to do all signs. We're going to talk about your sun, your moon, use your sun, moon, and rising sign to see how this lucky transit happens to affect you, with a lot of juice in that sky, a lot of luck in that sky, because not only is Venus well situated and powerfully placed in her home sign of Libra, but she's also sitting against the backdrop of the lucky star Spica, which brings its own version of fortune and luck and opportunity to you. So it's luck upon luck, luck and love, luck and money. So general themes. When you go into the all signs, you'll see what I mean. And just think of it like a period of grace. And even though it's on September 6th, you can feel it September 4th, September 5th, September 6th, September 7th, leaning into the new moon. Check that video out below as well. Put a link to it or check my channel. That glorious new moon on the 7th. So we got a lot of luck around the moon. We got a lot of luck around Venus. I'm going to graph the chart for us and pull it up. Okay, I've got it ready to go, and here we are, the chart. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notifications bell. Don't forget to check my money code course out down below in the description box. It's only $30, and if you're a subscriber to my newsletter or one of my Patreons, it can be had as low as $21 by getting your discount code for that course on September the 12th. What is the money code? How to find the prosperity promise in your natal chart. Live class, 90 minutes long, good for beginners and intermediate astrologers. Anyone with astrology curiosity about their chart, even willing to learn a bit about the landscape and the map and the clock of your natal chart. All right, let's move on. You can see the sky as I itemized. There is Venus sitting up here in Libra, and there she is trining Jupiter. Down here, the star Spica is 23 and something degrees of Libra. She's within orb of that super lucky, nourishing, nurturing, protective, gloriously positive star, and she's shining light to Jupiter and saying, hey, what's up, dude? And he's in Aquarius and he's working for Saturn, just as Mercury is in Libra and working for Venus. When I go ahead and do the all signs, you're going to hear a lot about this triangle as well, and how it might play out in your life, depending on your rising sign and your sun sign. Now, and your moon sign. Pick your rising sign first. Now, you know something. I would say one more thing before we go ahead and do the all signs. Look at what this might mean in terms of the collective. The Vestal Virgin flame shining a bright devotional light, a sacred flame with Venus in Libra, could have to do with justice for women, with legal justice for women, or something to do with that theme. As I'm recording this, there was a Texas law that just went down that's harsh and punitive. As someone said, when the penalty for rape is less severe than the penalty for an abortion because you were raped, there's a war against women. I love that line, or that someone said that, and I'm like, okay. So women and justice. Justice is one of the meanings of Libra, and a devotion and a sacred devotion to something. With this trine, that's kind of in the air. And you could also see a woman, like a woman who is powerful and leaderful, coming into prominence during the next few days, up until like the 7th of September, as this trine from Venus plays out with Jupiter. And so This could play out in politics. It could play out in any area of life, celebrity life, or whatever. Some woman in a positive way hitting the airwaves and making a splash with a devotional cause or a sacred flame, like a torch to shine up in the sky, and maybe a book. Mercury and Libra library. This is often bookish. A famous book hitting the bestseller list, or a new launch of a book that's becoming a bestseller to do with women, women's issues, or written by a woman. Just some possibilities with this lucky trine. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the all signs. So don't forget, your rising sign will be the most accurate reflection of your life. So go to astro.com or astroseek.com and cast your natal chart. You need to know your birth time to get an accurate ascendant. Your sun and moon, you can pretty well get most of the time without a time of birth. The moon's a little dicey. You can definitely get the sun sign. So just go cast your chart if you don't have it and find out what your sun and your moon and your rising sign is. If you're born at night, it's possible the moon will have more affinity for you. And if you're born in the day, then it's possible you'll resonate more with your sun. All right. Thanks, guys. And get ready for the all signs portion of this discovery together. All right. All right, Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign people, you are having this Venus on Spica, bringing luck and opportunity from your 11th house to Jupiter, offering Jupiter gifts that he can use in your 3rd house. Now, you know, you could say that friends that are female or female tribe members or women in places of greater belonging could be supporting you to achieve Jupiter's goals in your 3rd house of trips and travel, siblings, local neighborhood, learning, social media, virtual neighborhood, online stuff. In this sense, anything that you have an opportunity to do around this time will be very blessed in those themes. If it is about romance, it may be romance from your friendship circles and tribes of belonging. Venus is a money goddess. She's in a money house. One of the many houses is the 11th. It's great gains from your career. Sometimes it's pennies from heaven, AKA windfalls. She's under the light of lucky star Spica. And so think about maybe windfalls coming through things that have to do with your local neighborhood or through trips and travel or learning. I do feel also that the energy of this trine is significant for you and that you could very much benefit from some kind of luck, opening, opportunity, I guess, in the area of your 3rd house. I mean, this trine is, it's hitting your 11th, your 3rd, and your 7th. But legal contracts and negotiations or things coming from significant others benefiting your local environment and also benefiting your friendship circles. In essence, I think that even your the harvest goddess in your 7th house could bring some kind of harvesting or some kind of abundance and fruition from your spouse or primary partner that has good money benefits for you, and any contracts, negotiations, or deals that you're creating right now, Mercury and Libra, it would benefit you very greatly. And when it comes to having a sense of ability to have some success within the context of your local environment or your online world, if you're a Sag who does online stuff. I think I need water. Okay, so also, last thing I'll say for Sagittarius, Venus is the purveyor of the luck here. She rules your 4th house of real estate when you were born, or she exalts your 4th house of real estate when you were born. She rules your 6th house of health and work. And she's, of course, in domicile in the 11th. So I would also say lucky breaks about home and real estate and opportunities there, as well as potentially lucky breaks in your work environment and your health protocols of the 6th house. Oh, didn't mean to move that. I had to go by the hour. Capricorn, sun, moon, rising sign. Guess what? You're going to feel this lucky Venus blessing from the house of career to your 2nd house of earnings, voice, vocation, possessions, your 2nd house where Jupiter is sitting, receiving her blessings. What does she want to offer him? Is it a promotion? Maybe a lot of Capricorns could get a promotion, a bonus, a raise. You could be looking at a great breakthrough of your reputation where you've achieved something. Women in your higher workplace environment could also be trying to give you opportunities or blessings as well. Certainly it's going to impact your worldly success. This is definitely a worldly success activation. Venus is the ruler as well in your chart of your 5th house of money, luck, and romance. So speculative money, luck, romantic luck, children, some luck going on there, perhaps derivatively, as well as she's a ruler of the house she sits in your career, and she exalts your 3rd house of the local neighborhood and the online world and self-expression, trips and travel. But mostly this looks like a very lucrative, juicy development about work and money in some way. With that trine, that's air trining through the story, again, we're looking at that work house, the livelihood house, the health protocols house, benefiting from the air trine. And that Jupiter's doing Saturn's bidding, right? So I do think he wants to actualize this trine. I feel like it could just be a lot of flow between your earnings and your possessions and your voice and your vocation, your routines, your work routines, and your health routines, and your career all syncing up. Mercury and Libra in your 10th house, a new contract, signing a new document, a contract, an agreement, a term of some kind around your career and work. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising sign, which I am a rising sign Aquarius. Welcome to my world. Try not to make it all about me. That's my Aries, it does that. All right, so hey, guess what? We are experiencing Venus blessing from Spica's perch up in the 9th house of foreign lands and book publishing and teaching and dharma and meaning of our life and wisdom up there in that very booky house. She's looking down over at Jupiter and saying, I can offer you this. What do you want it? What is it? Well, something going to benefit us personally, very personally. It's going to benefit our identity. It's certainly going to benefit our health, because Jupiter is in the 1st house of our body. And Jupiter is also doing Saturn's bidding. And so, you know, I would say that the activation of this trine in the 1st house, 5th house, and 9th house is very much a story that has to do with the energy of those houses, really, which is really about a sense of how we want to lean into the expression of our purpose in the world. A lot of Aquarians are going to find that their spark for purpose is amplified in a very powerful way, and feeling on purpose may be a blessing from this particular trine, grand trine, but also the activation of the Venus-Jupiter trine. Venus for you, us Aquariuses, well, guess what? She is the exaltation lord of the house of earnings and possessions. She may dispense some blessings that way as she's in this lucky star Spica and giving a nod to Jupiter. She also may add some blessings to the home real estate, and especially given that she adorns homes, she may just give you some lucky possessions and adornments that, you know, open up the gateway to more beauty in your home, more sensuality in your home, that kind of thing. But mostly she's really trying to fortify a sense of well-being. If you've not been feeling like you had well-being, right, in some way, Jupiter here can bring some health improvements. Certainly if things haven't been well, Jupiter will find solutions for sure. But Venus is like up there, like here's an example, a foreign trip or trip somewhere that you can get some blessings from, or an opportunity from a mentor who's a female that is provided that brings some blessings, a monetary opportunity from someone with or from a foreign shore. Okay, those are just possible examples. If you're into book publishing, a female agent offering a deal, a publisher accepting your manuscript, those sorts of things. Okay, I'm just going to go grab some kombucha because I'm sugar lowing. All right, hang in there. Don't go. I'll be right back. I don't think I am going to take too long to reach the fridge, 3 steps away. It's not kombucha, but it'll do. It's called sapsucker, tapped in Canada. It's a grapefruit flavored organic maple syrup drink, I think. It matches my outfit. Oh my God, it's so delicious. Mmm. Mmm. Organic maple water. Sapsucker. Only in Canada. All right, so Pisces, sun, moon, and rising sign. The blessings that Venus dispenses are coming from your 8th house of your monies that you have from inheritances, from grants, from stipends and tax rebates and credit cards and debt relief, and somebody owes you money or somebody has some inheritance to toss at you. This could be very well what this is about. And so some Pisces get a little bit of a breakthrough there. Money that your spouse has can benefit you as well, and money that's hidden but now becomes available. The trine then from Venus in this money house to your Jupiter is a kind of trining a deep place of your inner life. You may have some big dreams here about how to increase your money. Both 8 and 12 are occult mystery houses in a way. And so you may find that you also have some breakthrough, thank you, Venus, insights that can bring great luck and opportunity to your life because of the trine from the 8th house of the occult mystery traditions and hidden and secretive things. And it's interesting, a woman could have a money secret that she's kept, and when it's divulged because of this activation, it benefits you financially. Venus is the owner of the real estate in your chart that is this. She exalts your 1st house of your body. So maybe under the light of Spica, where she's dignified in Libra, she could bring you a little bit of money. Physical wellness bonus points. She is the owner of your 3rd house of your siblings, blesses your siblings by derivative benefit. She blesses your local neighborhood. She blesses also any trips you could take around this time. This is active this week. Also, self-expression and writing are blessed by her this week as well. That could open up opportunities. And at last, that big trine in the sky. Well, that trine is under. Well, first of all, let's not forget. These are houses that all have meanings when they're connected by trine. So, 4, 8, and 12 is energetically about liberation, enlightenment, and it's about intuition as well. It's a natural water houses, but it's also, very spiritual energy, all of the 4 of them. So this is a very good time for you with this air trine, but in the moksha houses. It's a really good time for you Pisceans then to have spiritual breakthroughs as well, big ones. North Node, Aries in the house of your family of origin and ancestors at the bottom of the chart is very auspicious when it's in this air trine to give you breakthroughs that come out of your childhood or things that your family of origin has been about in your life. And again, it could be very much a psychological journey for you during this lucky week ahead, not necessarily tangible. But those breakthroughs can bring good financial opportunity as well. Aries, sun, moon, and rising. This is your opportunity from Venus in the house of one-on-one committed love stories, business partnerships, and Venus in Libra, and signing contracts and agreements. Venus in Libra here can really open up some opportunities to sign contracts, legal agreements, negotiations, things with business partners and spouses type people, or just love stories in general that could be committed later on. To trying to Jupiter in the house of deepest, truest dreams and goals, future aspirations that we have. The house of good spirit can also be about financial gain from career direction, and it's a kind of a vibe of a bit of a genie and a lucky energy up in the house of good spirit. Karmic rewards. So what kind of karmic reward may be percolating in your 11th house that Venus is trying to deliver? 11th house is belonging house. It's like, I belong to the NCGR, a society of astrologers. Could some opportunity be opening from a tribal belonging affiliation, given that Mercury, the the tribal affiliation asteroid here as well, trining that same house and trining the 3rd house of online world, social media, learning, teaching, writing, self-expressing. Some of you Aries are getting this opportunity to really engage in greater self-expression, greater ideas, greater writing ideas, even with the possibility that some of this is about your groups of belonging, that, you know, it comes through your social obligations groups, or communities that you belong to, you know. And online communities count as well. And this could also be a love story emerging from your online world or from your belongingness world. You know, if you go to, like, you know, hang out with the crew at the soccer field and play recreational soccer, that's a kind of a club that you belong to by choice. Okay, I hope that helps. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. So, you know, Venus has got a sweet spot in the sky in Spica, in your 6th house of livelihood, work routines, work you do in the world, work protocols and health, 6th house stuff. And she is like gazing adoringly up at Jupiter and saying, I want to help. And he's like, well, I need career help up here, or reputation and status help. So what can you give me? She says, well, I can work it from the work field. I can give you some colleague in the workplace who gives you a recommendation. I can give you an opportunity to get that interview for the job. I can give you the opportunity to also improve your health in ways that are pleasurable so that you can succeed in your career. And Jupiter says, sure, I'll take it. That sounds like all good stuff to me. And I can bring you love from coworkers, and I can bring you career, falling in love with your career and work as well, and being in love with the work you're doing. And because Venus is also the owner of your 1st house and owns you, Taurus rising, especially sun, moon, and ascendant, but you know, she's a big planet for you. And so she's really going to pull this out, because she's going to be, you know, doing her best to helmsman your life in the right direction. You know, she also exalts your 11th house of great gain from your career, and some lucky breaks that can happen up in that karmic reward zone. So there's also that too. This will probably be a great job opportunity then, if that's what it is, that's going to increase your finances. Finally, the air trine that's sitting there and that Jupiter is trying to execute because Lord Saturn's a part of it. Well, this is more of the same, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about the Artha houses, the houses of ambition and striving and getting, you know, things off the ground and getting your goals achieved. And so, you know, these themes of goal achievement and getting things accomplished, succeeding in the world, succeeding in your reputation and your work and your money and your possessions. That's kind of what that triangle is bringing, with the great mother energy of the goddess Demeter, the rescuing mother, the harvest goddess in your 2nd house of this trine. You know, it looks like a bit of a cornucopia or abundance or a harvesting of some possible really good money opportunity. And because Saturn and Jupiter are retrograde, some of this may come from directions in career you've been before, but you're going back to now. You can even be hired by a former employer. Moving on. Gemini, sun, moon, rising sign. All right. Need to swallow my water. My sap sucker. Okay, so look at this, in my humble opinion, as one of the most lucky of all signs in this reading I'm doing for every sign. Why do I say that? Gemini, especially Gemini rising? Venus is in the 5th house. This is the house of her joy. And this is a house of luck. And Venus is a goddess of luck. This is a house of money luck. And goddess Venus is sitting here. And so what could it mean? Well, it's also the romance house, and she's a goddess of romance. So romance and money luck is exceptional for the Mercury ruled folk out there, you Geminis. And she's looking up adoringly at Jupiter, batting her eyelashes, and he's in your 9th house. Money luck and love luck in romance from foreign lands, foreign shores, book publishing, church, spiritual communities, travel to foreign lands, educational settings, especially higher ed. This grand, and then Venus, of course, exalts your 10th house of career. So she might dispense a little bit of career blessing up there as well. When she's hanging with Spica, you know, she opens that gate up a little bit for you as well, Gemini. And, you know, she also is a ruler of your 12th house of past lives and dreams at night. So some of those themes may be really opportunistic for now, those areas. But more importantly, or as importantly, that air trine, right, is sitting in the first and the fifth and the ninth house. And this is a really juicy, purpose of life, meaning of life element in the chart. And I feel like you're probably going to get a strong sense that this lucky in love or lucky in money aligns you more deeply with your purpose in life and your sense of being on target with who you are. With Mercury and Maki Maki, that, the Easter god, Easter Island god over here, the asteroid, he's the ruler of your ascendant. So he's also going to pull out as much of the goodness as he can in this air trine to support you stepping more deeply into your authentic identity, the character you're here to play in this life. Okay, eclipses going through your Gemini first house. A lot of Geminis since midsummer of last year, since let's say June of last year, started to feel that North Node propelling you to really figure out you and to focus a lot on you and you being you and all of that. Cancer, Sun, Moon, rising sign. And let's take a look. So Venus is sitting in the fourth house of your home, where you live, real estate, land, your roots of the chart, your house of your mother and your family of origin, your domestic private life. Now, just being there, especially in Dignity, is just trying to beautify your home, make it more, harmonious. Harmonious would be a good Libra word to bring harmony to the home life right now. And from that perch, she's looking up at Jupiter in your eighth house. Now, this is very much looking like possibility of a new lease, real estate deals, paying off the mortgage, getting a new mortgage, securing an amazing bank loan to decorate your house, redecorate your house, maybe even move. Lucky in the money house real estate angles here. Also, if you're looking for love, it's close to home. If you want to fall deeply in love with a partner of destiny who's going to bring harmony to your life, anyone you meet, if you're single, right now would likely be in your city of origin, like where you're living now, or from your hometown or homeland growing up. And Jupiter is, working for Saturn, and therefore this grand air trine is he's trying to help execute. And, that grand air trine is sitting in that moksha, spiritual depth, the liberation, psychological, intuitive 4, 8, and 12. So there's some deep soul work going on here as well over this week for you guys. So it's not just about moolah, bula, and money and earnings and real estate and savings. Now, Jupiter, by the way, going through your eighth house, I have to stop and say this for you Cancers, okay? Risings and stuff, especially rising. This is an inheritance time. It doesn't mean you're going to have someone die, but it's like Jupiter wants to bless you from the house of inheritance and other people's money. You could get some money coming to you from some place you didn't expect it. Well, Jupiter transits this house and he's here until the end of the year, to December 27th or so. So this is also in play. So keep that in mind right now. Saturn is trying to tidy up and organize your wealth profile, but Jupiter would just like to send you some lucky breaks there as well. Speculative investment maybe, or real estate investment or anything like that could also yield results this week. Leo Sun, Moon, and especially Leo rising sign, your Venus luck spot under the light of Spica in your third house of your siblings, your third house of your neighborhood and your online world and presence, as well as the house of writing and self-expression and learning skills. Okay, so you could be looking at luck from Venus because a sibling has a lucky break and it spills over to you. It's blessing your seventh house of your marriage, your outreach, your partners that you work with. Or you could also interpret this as your online presence gets bonus points on the game board from Venus and you reach a larger audience. You can also say that a trip could be very good for romance. And if you're single, you could meet somebody of great power and magnitude that you'd stay with and likely want to marry, Jupiter transiting your seventh. That's a good signature, by the way, for meeting somebody in your local neighborhood, coffee shop, in a movie theater, or on a trip, or in an educational setting, especially like skills-based learning, that you would fall madly in love with and want to eventually marry. So there you go for you single Leos. For partnered Leos, this is also just a good transit for your main partner. Your main squeeze gets some juice out of this as well. Jupiter in the house of the marriage. I almost forgot to say that that grand air trine in houses 7, 11, and 3 can influence your communications, your connection to communities. You may grow your social circles, your neighborhood groups. You may find new communities to belong to. It wants to extend you into relating to others in the world and having new ideas as well. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. Now you're having Venus's blessings as she gazes lovingly and adoringly to Jupiter from your money house itself, a money goddess in a money house. So Virgo, no doubt about it, your possessions, your finances are improving. Your earnings are improving. Negotiating a new agreement, a new employment contract, selling something that you own, and marketing and merchandising something that you want to sell. Venus is blessing the money story, and she's participating with Jupiter's, over here with Jupiter in your 6th house of health protocols and work, like the work community, the co-workers. Jupiter here can be a boss who gives you some kind of bonus on the money board. Jupiter here could be opportunity for new employment. There's a lot of love in this story about getting a job, getting a promotion, getting a raise, getting money from the work environment. I like that. And then, come on, Venus is exalting your 7th house of primary relationships. So that's going to be a good time for your relationship this week. She, wants to help you bolster that. Mercury is, the Lord of your ascendant, and he wants to also help Venus out, co-present. She's working with him, he's working with her. He's really working for her, just as Jupiter's working for Saturn. This air trine then is a part of the narrative, and it looks to me like it's really going to, again, more career status, reputation, success. You're harvesting something up here. It's almost like a lot of work went into getting something to happen, and now you're reaping a harvest. I like that there's a retrogradation of Jupiter and Saturn in the workplace. Some of you Virgos could get some reaping of money and rewards and career success through a place you've already been, like an old job, an old employer, an old part of the work coming back, refreshing from the past, perhaps, okay? But it's a glorious money and work story. If you're going to have love, probably going to be because it's connected to the co-worker story. So singleton Virgos may find love in the work environment. All right, 2 more left. Oh, don't drool, Lori. All right, so Venus in the 1st house is excellent for you, Libra rising, because you are Venus ruled, and she's at home in her kingdom of your body and your identity. So you may have been feeling really good since she's been here so far, about 2.5 weeks or so. And now, she wants to bless you physically, so you feel better about yourself. She gives you extra charisma and charm, sex appeal, negotiating power, and persuasive power when she's in your 1st house. Now, she's looking adoringly over at Jupiter in your 5th house of romance and money luck and children and inspiration and the muse and independent business enterprise, especially like, when you take a risk to be an entrepreneur, that can be very 5th house. So she wants to bless that chunk of real estate for you. If you're a single Libra and you want to be in a relationship, Venus looking at Jupiter here really brings something powerful in, especially because Jupiter in the 5th can either bring pregnancy, children, and new romantic opportunities for love affairs. And he's there till the end of the year. So a lot of you Librans may find that this could pivot you into a new love story this week. It's good for your money, of course, because Jupiter is a money god, a luck god in a money luck house. Now, the kind of money you get here could be an investment that pays off, or could be a windfall, could be a gamesman lot, like casinos and lottery tickets, or 5th house games that you can win at. So it might not be a bad week, especially around the 5th, 6th, to buy a lottery ticket for fun, Libra. Why not? Why not? Air trine. Okay, so the air trine is really connecting to your identity, your purpose, why you're on the planet. Those are the kinds of houses that 1, 5, and 9 are Dharma energy kind of. You're really looking at that being strengthened this week as well. Saturn wants to, fortify and strengthen your fifth house. And, Saturn can make you work hard to get play, work hard to enjoy yourself. But it's also, if you're a creative type, you're going to be disciplined and focused on your creativity, and the muse will be really well trained. Now, Mercury's working for your Lord Venus. And so he's saying, what new ideas are coming to you right now? What new messages are you receiving that could become creations like books, Libra library, especially given that the North Node is in the house of book publishing. Some of you will be looking at an inspiration around a book or a creation that could become a reality after this week. Like, you're inspired this week. If you already got a book and you're trying to shop it around, this is very good for getting an agent, getting a publisher, that kind of thing. If you want to take a trip to a foreign land, lastly, Libra, there's an opening this week to plan that trip and have success. Or a place you don't usually go. The ninth house can be travel to places that are not familiar to you. It doesn't always have to be a foreign shore. Last in our series of 12 signs today is Scorpio. Hey, Scorpio, the secret sauce that Venus is giving you with the luck is in a very spiritual house. Karmically, it's past life stuff, the 12th. And it could be very subtle then. You could have, first of all, you could have women supporting you from behind the scenes, backroom deals, women dealing and wheeling backrooms negotiations to support you in financial gain, 8th house stuff, perhaps because of that trine, and to do with homeland and real estate. But also, if it's not that out pictured, it could be like you're having incredibly powerful inspirational dreams thanks to Venus in your 12th on Spica that look over to Jupiter in the 4th house of home and land. Some of you Scorpios may be having move opportunities or relocation or real estate and land opportunities showing up this week for you. Jupiter in your 4th house, Scorpio rising especially, has been blessing your 4th house now since he got back into Aquarius on July 28th, and he'll be there to the end of the year. So there's a lot of real estate luck and blessings here, and home and domestic life blessings, private life blessings. And I kind of feel like this air trine is saying as well, some opportunities opening up for some of you Scorpio risings to really have a significant bounty, like a harvest, like a ka-ching moment in the 8th house of your spouse's money, joint monies, resources, banks, bank loans, grants, credit card debts, tax rebates, and inheritances. So keep that in mind as a source of where this could be coming from. Deep connection to your spiritual identity, to your spiritual evolution too, because the big air trine is in your moksha for 8 and 12 houses. All right, so that's it. I hope this lucky week blesses everybody. Let me turn this off so you say goodbye to me. I hope this lucky week blesses you. I have my ashram look with my sapsucker, only in Canada, matching everything moment. Please like, subscribe. If you don't like me, don't put your thumb down. Just ignore me. We'll walk away. I don't need to have a thumb down without a constructive comment, And it's one of my pet peeves on YouTube. And secondly, I don't even bother. If I don't like something somebody says, I either comment and tell them what's wrong, or I just walk away. But just a thumbs down is useless. What does it tell me? You don't like my hair. You don't like what I said. You don't like my style of astrology. Anyway, done my rant. Second of all, check out the money code course I talked about in the beginning, link below. Subscribe to my newsletter. We have a draw every single month. And this is at the end of every month, I do a draw. 2 people win free readings off my newsletter, and you get a 30% discount code for one-time use any reading with me. Why not get on my weekly forecast newsletter that comes out every single Sunday and catch the wave of what's happening in great detail for the week ahead? And that's it. I'm done all my pitching. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm going to now go make dinner in Vancouver, Canada. Ciao, ciao. Love you guys. Have a great week. It's a lucky week. Enjoy that lucky sky.